Hello and welcome, Big East fans. We are back with the last game of the day on this stream. We have Butler University taking on Villanova in the final match today. Both these teams, Butler playing to secure their playoff positions, while Villanova trying to play spoiler in this matchup. Big day for both of them, and we are into draft. So in the first ban phase coming out. Well, first let's talk about our games from earlier today. So Villanova is coming off of a tough loss against St. John's. Their first game was a bloodbath, albeit pretty St. John's favored, while the second game was a definite bloodbath that had a bit of a for fun feel to it. It was St. John's last game of the season, and we had double melee bot lane from Villanova. So I'm curious to see if they're going to pull out more of that alternative, or more of those alternative picks, while Butler had a pretty clean 2-0 against Georgetown. Levi having a very solid game for himself in the first, carrying on the Akali, while the whole team showed up very, very big in the second game. So in the first round of bans, we could see LeBlanc, Jin, and Pike all banned away from Villanova. Pike targeted right at Villanova. He had a couple awesome games on that champion, specifically the first against St. John's. He was piloting that. He had a whole boatload of kills. And as I mentioned before, this is Levi's Akali again. We actually might, we don't know who it's going to yet, but solo lane pickup for the side of Butler, while Shen locked in for the side of Villanova. So Shen, very strong side lane, safe pick with Viego. Strong snowbally jungler. Jarvan Camille locked in for the side of Butler. So that is Kaizek's Camille once again. We saw that champion do great work in their second game against Georgetown. Huge snowball and Voltade on the Jarvan once again. Pretty standard stuff here for the side of Butler, while Villanova drafting their Silas and Viego. Karma and Thresh banned away. We could see 3 support bans away from Mojo Romo on the side of Villanova. 4 support bans, so really heavily targeting Mojo Romo, one of the pivotal pieces for the Butler lineup, and he still has yet to pick his support, so he'll be pushed a little bit off of his comfort champions. And it looks like Villanova are hovering a variety of supports here between the Lulu and Rakan, and that Lulu is locked in. Xayah Rakan taken from the side of Butler, so they get the dynamic duo really, really strong in the current meta. Xayah rising to the top of solo queue with both her more prominent lethality build and a little bit as well as her standard crit build, but paired with Mojo Romo's Rakan, I believe this is one of the first times we could see that pick from him. So I'm really, really excited to see how he plays it out. And Franco answers with the Jinx. Overall, it looks like it's going to be heavy team fight from both of these squads. Akers has a lot of ults that he's able to steal with the Silas. The Akali Silas matchup should be rather exciting, and all in all, this game looks like it's going to be a banger. All right, we will be getting into it in a minute, and until then, we will be on a quick break. See y'all in a minute. You don't want to miss it. and welcome back. First Villanova going live right now. And I am joined by my co-caster, Sir Aaron. How do you feel about these comps?
Yeah, I think I am very, very curious to how these are definitely going to end up. Like, I think you see the very, very obvious ways that the teams want to play, right? I think you've got, the very, very strong scaling bot here of Villanova, right, with the Jinx, with the Lulu. Not only that, but supported, by the Shen with his ultimate. And then obviously on the other side, you have this very, very strong mid and top from Butler, obviously Camille being such a strong champion on top of, the assassin that Levi can be on Akali, being able to shut down, champions like the Jinx and the Lulu. But also, you've got the Lovers duo in the bot lane. So I think it's going to be very, very fun to see, how these maybe comps go through this game, and definitely where maybe the focal point, how the focal point develops throughout the series and throughout the game.
Yeah, certainly. And we can see both junglers are actually starting on split sides of the map. So Voltade will be starting on the blue buff, pathing towards that bot lane of Xayah Rakan. We saw Carthago Xayah earlier. He did, in fact, go the crit build. It looks like he's doing it again with the lethal tempo. I have personal beliefs that the lethality build is stronger, but in this situation, regardless, the three-man unit of Jarvan, Xayah, and Rakan are going to be really, really strong together. But we can see a fight breaking on the mid lane. Levi taking early damage from Akkers.
Yeah, we did see earlier that there was a ward cleared out by Villanova, so Butler did get vision on the jungler start there for Joey. We'll have to see how they might use that throughout, but we already do see Voltade there in going from top there to bottom. A little bit of counter or diagonal jungling here going on, so we'll have to see, if there's going to be any early gank here in either the bot lane or the top lane for the respective sides.
Oh, Levi is fighting in the mid lane, and it looks like there is action just happening all over the map as these players are excited to get on the rift, excited to brawl it out, and very different than the lane phase we saw from Levi in the last series while he was playing against the Lucian. In that one, he was playing very defensive, just looking to CS and outscale, but against Akkers, he is really pushing the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Levi and Akkers both have Ignite, right? This is definitely going to be a lane where they're going to be wanting to go for that first blood, wanting to go for just the aggression in that lane. You see Romo and Carthago getting a nice little trade there. Polymorph at least will stop the brunt of that, but top lane, though, is definitely trending back and forth here as Kaizek is trying to get the better there of the Shen, but the W really does help mitigate a lot of that damage.
Yeah, and look at the CS lead, 14-6. I know there is a wave stacked up on Kaizek's tower, but Abacar Philip doing very, very well at the moment. Levi caught on the wrong side of this play. Akkers flash forward. Double knockup from Voltade. Levi going in, Ignite down onto Joey. 2v1. Joey getting taken down, and that is first blood over to Butler. Voltade, really, really nice play from the mid jungle of Butler there, being patient and waiting for the over-aggression from Joey and Akkers.
Yeah, no, it's just great communication there, right? Obviously, Levi just plays perfectly enough for Voltage to just rotate up there and support. Great double knockup. And that is a really, really great first blood there to get for Butler.
Abacar in the top lane, finding great damage onto Kaizek, and he has to get away with his E and W, that sliver of HP. That is almost certainly going to be a teleport forced from the top lane. Really, really nice answer back from the side of Villanova.
Fortunately, though, at the very least, Kaizek did have his hook shot, so he does not need to burn the flash, but at least burning the TP is definitely a benefit there for Villanova, as now they will now have TP advantage. Plus,
but Voltade is in the top lane looking for this play. The dash is already used. Philocart used the W. He's at 100 HP. No way out. He's taken down. Joey looking for the answer back on the play, but he's in a 2v1. Nothing he can do. And Voltade showing up huge in the top lane. That's 2 for 2 on the jungler Butler.
Yeah, very, very well done there. I'm not sure if the top laner there for Villanova maybe thought that he could have lived, or maybe didn't feel like he needed to burn the flash. Unfortunately, that means you'll have to burn his TP to get back to lane. Viego is still around, though, so with Voltade hovering, there might be a regank potential. So both Kaizek, Kaizek will have to be careful because Joey's right here.
Taunted. Joey on his way. Kaizek hookshotting away. The stun does not land onto Kaizek. He's able to run away with 200 HP. Tower shot taken by Joey. Kaizek going forward, getting the heal off, and just a slight mechanical error causing Kaisik to get away without using his flash.
Yeah, and I think you saw that little interaction there actually helped him out very much, right? Because you had the hook shot go in, and Kaisik didn't really see what the Viego was in the shroud, so actually momentarily stuns Viego.
Oh, Villanova rooted, knocked up by Mojo Romo. Flash away, has the shield. Does there enough damage? Carthago moving under the tower, flash forward, but Carthago is tanking it up, uses heal, gets the shield from Mojo Romo, continues to go forward onto Franco. Franco 100 HP, and that is a kill over to Butler with Franco living with just the tiniest sliver of health.
Yeah, he has to be careful because Mojo Romo's looking. He really does want to get that little bit of damage, but that means Franco will back off. He will stay alive, but I mean, that was just such a clean 2v2 right there. I mean, you saw how much damage mitigation was there, how well that Mojo Romo and Carthago used all of their abilities to get all the heals, and I mean, that was just very, very clean all around. Blows the flash there from Villanova and the heal from Franco, and now there's going to be a lot of CS denied from him as well.
Yeah, and we can see Butler using that advantage to take the Ocean Dragon, right? They got the kills in the bot lane, they have the wave pushed, and they get the first objective. So they are now winning in kills across the map. They have objective victories, and they have the tempo in the game. So everything is looking really good for the Butler lineup right now. You can see Levi has both summoners available, level 6. Where do you think he's going to take this opportunity on the Akali?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also very important to note what he did start, what he did itemize, right? He does have the component of the Morellos. So he has a healing cut to take care of the healing that Silas can do with his W. So maybe, you know, he wants to try to go for that 1v1 in the mid lane. He has also the Dark Seal with 1 stack. So we could potentially see that happening, though. As top lane, Kaisik probably should be able to get away no problem, but I'm not sure.
It's just a noodle fight.
Yeah.
2 top laners hitting each other with grasp and, you know, auto attacks. You know, both of them trade pretty evenly in terms of HP, but we can see in the mid lane, Levi going in onto Akkers, getting good damage out. That's a taunt missed by Abacar. That's going to be very difficult for him to continue to win this trade as Kaisik is moving forward, has the ultimate available. Flash to knock Abacar back, and he's taken down, but Carthago and Romo fighting in the bot lane. Franco connects on the kill. That is 1. Romo down to 150 HP, pushed under the tower, and that is a win for Villanova on the bot side and a win for Butler on the top side.
Yeah, at the very least, you know, Butler does pick up 1, so it's not just a 1-for-0. At least they take 1 with them. Voltaire, though, is around here trying to maybe clap onto Akkers.
Oh, gets the knockup, but the Shen ult is coming in. Akkers gets a huge heal, steals the ultimate, 200 HP. Levi finds the kill, but Abacar is here trying to answer back. This is a 3-on-1 for him. Villanova coming to support, but Abacar has no damage on the Shen. All he can do is try to find a way out, but Kaisik says otherwise, takes him down, and Butler is in absolute command of this early game.
Yeah, Voltaire, though, will have the will at least take the big chicken away, as he is forced to disengage there from Joey and Villanova. But I mean, all things considered, you know, this is a very, very great start from Butler. Up 3k, up 6 kills. They have 1 dragon. Probably going to look to pick the second one here. And you know, from what a you know, very, very close game 1 between Butler and Georgetown in their previous game, you know, definitely keeping up with the momentum that they had going into the second game and now into here, you know, I think definitely is a good sign for them, you know, for the remainder of this series.
Yeah, and we can see Butler taking down the Rift Herald right now. It does not look like Villanova is in any position to contest this. So a very nice first objective they're going to be able to take and use to start breaking down these towers. And I think once the first one falls, we are going to see a flurry of towers falling. We can see that Camille is 3-0, about to finish her Divine Sunderer, and everyone knows how fast Camille takes towers with her enhanced auto attack, auto resets, along with Xayah in the bot lane. So all it will take is 1 falling for Butler to start using those rotations they're so good at to get the rest of them. But it looks like a play is happening in the mid lane as Joey and Akkers are looking onto Levi. Akkers stealing the ultimate, lands the stun ult into Levi. Levi pushed away. Akkers continuing to find good damage. And in the top lane, it looks like somehow Levi was able to escape that, but Abacar Philart is getting bursted down by Kaisik, and nothing ending up on this play except for an engage by Voltaire, who gets Philibert down to 200 HP, a re-engage by Kaisik, They're going out of Joey as well. Joey in a 1-on-2, nowhere to go. Volte gets the flag and drag and ends up taking him down. That's a kill in the bot lane as well. Carthago slaying Franco, and it's 10-1 in the favor of Butler.
Yeah, I mean, this is just so coordinated. This is just so almost beautiful to watch now, as Villanova's probably going to fall with one more auto. Ultimate just to confirm it. But you saw mid lane, right? Levi was perfectly walking away just enough to where Volte was there to support, so Levi could disengage safely. Top lane, though, you know, Kazakh was just waiting around for Volte to re-engage to not only get the 1, but the 2 there onto Joey. Rift Herald now is popped. Not sure if this will get the tower, just because Abubakar is able to get back to lane. But really, I mean, this is a very, very just well-coordinated, teamwork game from Butler all around.
Absolutely, and you can see Infernal Dragon spawning in 15 seconds. I'm curious to see if Villanova will even contest this, as Butler is just running all over this game. Essence Reaver already completed on Carthago, Gourd Drinker on Volte, Divine Sunder on Kaisik. You know, there is nowhere near that sort of items. You know, not a single mythic completed for Villanova. We could see 6,000 gold at 11 minutes. That is insane.
Yeah, that is a significant lead here. And as we do have Joey in the top lane, Volte ran immediately bot. That would be an easy second dragon to Butler. It is only Cloud Soul, so not the best, not what they would prefer, but definitely a win con nonetheless for them. As Kaisek will get some great poke and some, I mean, just a really great skirmish there. You know, the Divine Sunder really putting in the work, and will definitely, I think, give the pressure now. As Volte might have to be a little careful here.
Oh, yeah, Volte caught in the middle of the enemy team, but Mojo Romo and Carthago are looking to help him on the backside. Mojo Romo looking for Franco. Franco flashes over the wall. Carthago in the middle of the enemy team. It looks like Ockers is trying to join the fight, but he's already down to 400 HP, and Levi is looking in the backline. Gets 1. Levi looking for more. Double knockup by Volte. Traps him in the Cataclysm. Kaisik and Levi on the backside absolutely dominating Villanova, and that is a clean ace, 5-0 in the bot river for the side of Butler, and this game is already wraps. 8,000 gold at 12 minutes.
I mean, yeah, that was, I mean, how well played was that? I mean, like, Butler, like, you know, there have been some weeks when, you know, Butler has always had good individual players, right? Butler has definitely been a team of individuals. They're so good, not only as themselves, but together. And, you know, there's been some weeks where they maybe looked a little bit disjointed. There are some weeks when they've been so very close in a couple of the games. But, you know, this week, you know, not only with their previous match, but right now, I mean, they look like a different team. I mean, how just well are all these players not only playing of their own accord, but also as a team together. I mean, there is perfect communication. You saw the perfect TP in there from Kaisek. Just a great 4v4 into that 5v5. And right now, kill there. Onto Ockers. Kaisek should be able to get away no problem. And I mean, what can Villanova do at this point?
I don't think Villanova can do anything. I think this is all Butler all day, right? I think the addition of Kaisek to this roster is just absolutely monumental. It has, you know, added so much of this needed pressure in the top lane for Butler, allowing Carthago, Mojo Romo, and Levi to, you know, avoid some of that jungle pressure during the game. And you know, they have threats in every single lane now. You know, they have some of the best mechanical players in the league, and you could see Villanova can't get anything started in this game. Villanova are just getting snuffed out before it even started, right? Like, these players can play so many different champions too. Like, look at this. We have Camille, a very high skill expressive champion that requires great mechanical skill. We have Akali. Levi showed his prowess on the Akali earlier today in his absolute dominating victory against Georgetown. Just even more, look at that. Mojo Romo playing the Rakan, a new champion added to his wheelhouse with Carthago. This bot lane now has Xayah Rakan available to them. Just how many tools does this team have moving forward into the season? You know, come playoffs, this Butler lineup looks very, very scary.
Yeah, and Kaisek trying to go in. I mean, look how much damage he's doing. There's really nothing this Chen can do. He's 0-5, will have to flash away, does at least live for the interim, but I mean, Kaisek's waiting around. He wants to go in.
That was slick. He used the flash to ensure that Abacar did not have the opportunity to pop the shield or have any response. Really, really slick play there, and Villanova trying to answer on the backside, but Kaisik is going in. He knows he can get it. He cleans it up, and it's 20-1.
Yeah, there's a level 7 Lulu trying to go to level 10 Camille. And I wouldn't be surprised if he would even turn on this Jinx, but we have Voltage rotating up.
Akers chose the fight, but he's taken L's during it. Joey falls, and no matter what they do, Villanova are getting crushed on their own plays, and this is just a monument to the 12,000 gold lead at 15 minutes. I wonder if this is the biggest gold lead we have seen all season, because, my goodness, this is a very one-sided affair.
Yeah, I mean, this is a 13K gold lead at 15 minutes. I don't think we've seen a bigger gold lead at this time. I mean, 23 kills to 1, right? I mean, that is an absolute just one-sided smash. I mean, there is absolutely zero counterplay that Villanova has, and I think you touched on it perfectly, right? With the addition of Kaisik, it opens up so many more potential avenues for success for Butler, because it's just the champ pool, right, is so much more diverse now. You know, with the strength of having the ability to play champions like that Camille, it opens up the map completely. Like, we saw a lot of Graves, a lot of Kennen, which are obviously very, very good champions. But it was a lot of the same, and they're also very you know, maybe entailing of certain compositions around those champions. But being able to have a much more deeper champion pool really means that they can flex the strengths of a lot of these other players, right? A lot more of the freedom for Mojo Roma to really have some great 2v2 duos, you know, with Carthago. Obviously, Levi has such a deep champ pool that now he can really just almost choose whatever champion he wants. But now we got a fight right now.
Engaged by Mojo Romo. Joey down to 100 HP, and he is certainly going to fall as Villanova is retreating off of their tier 2 tower, and Butler are moving forward with the Rift Herald. They want this inhibitor, and they might just want to end this game at 16 minutes. Who knows? They have such a big lead, and that's a flash forward. They're looking for the team fight. Missed abilities all over the place, but it doesn't matter as Butler has such a huge lead that Villanova are falling anyway, and that is going to be a 4-0. They're going on Akers. He's under his tower, but it does not matter as Kaisik is looking to take him down. 1,000 shut down Levi, and Mojo Romo looking for the kill. Levi cleans it up, but the death timers are so short because these members of Villanova are so underleveled.
It's also only 17 minutes. It's 17 minutes in the game, and they're already broken the inhib. They're already on the Nexus turrets, right? And Joey's now level 9. He's a level below the support. I mean, there's nothing they can do. I mean, they are just going for the throat here, Butler. I mean, they are not letting Villanova have any chance of having any fun this game. And I mean, this is just very, very, I think, encouraging to see for the squad who now, you know, is looking to take down some of these big names here.
Teleport coming in. Teleport coming in. Volte looking for Villanova. Kaisik and Levi clean it up. They're moving forward. Akers taken down. He's resurrecting. Akers has a Guardian Angel and some Moby boots on Silas. He knows the state of this game. Doomed for the side of Villanova as Alucard is taken down. Romo is trying to find Franco on the backside. Kaisik is following up, and bada bing, bada boom, 32-2. This game, it feels like, you know, Villanova walking to a bar trying to pick a fight, and they just, you know, they stand up, they square up, and they're standing up against Mike Tyson right there. Like, no chance, gets knocked on their butt in 18 minutes, 32-2. That was, I think, the most dominant game we have seen in the Big East in a long time.
Yeah, and that has to be one of the most dominant games this season, right? I mean, there's some very, very strong teams, but that's some very, very strong
this season, man. I'm thinking the last couple seasons.
I mean,
32-2 in 18 minutes.
Yeah, that was a disgusting game from Butler, and I think that makes the rest of the teams in the Big East very, very scared, right? Because Butler has leveled up throughout the split, right? I mean, they are a different team today than they have been last week, than they have been, you know, at the start of the season, right? I mean, this is scary. If I'm, you know, St. John's, if I'm DePaul, if I'm even Seton Hall, right? If I'm sitting here, you know, if I'm you know, a couple games above and I'm looking at this, you know, that is scary for them to have that kind of performance and do it in that way. I mean, there was only 2 kills given over, and that was, I mean, you saw Villanova. They knew what was going to happen. They stole other items. They had as much fun as they could. I mean, that is going to, I think, really change. I think a lot of people might have been predicting for how the postseason might be going.
Yeah, and this is a very good look for Butler as they're trying to secure their spot in the playoffs. We can see a very tight race in the middle of the pack. Marquette sitting at 3-3, UConn sitting at 3-3. The winner of that series on the other channel, official EGF, will be in the playoff race, while the other will be knocked out. Seton Hall currently sitting at 4 wins and 3 losses, and Butler 4-2, trying to move to 5-2 to match DePaul here. So really, with a win like that, Butler is cementing themselves in that playoff spot. And I think if you are DePaul in this final week, the likely, the last match of the season for Butler and the potential first round in the playoffs, if they end up being a 2 and 3 seed, you have to be shaking as, this team looks good. But on the other end, DePaul did add a player of their own, King Amazing, in the bot lane. So just a lot of action and excitement heading into the final weeks of the Big East.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely very, very exciting, for all of our viewers, right, who really get to see these full rosters, these really complete just teams that really look very, very good, right? I think that is really going to lead to an exciting playoff picture. All of these teams I think have changed a few players, over time, have obviously had, I think, some very, very important graduations, just this past year, and having these teams be, not only just as strong but even better, right? I mean, that just shows how the Big East is growing, not only with how, in our immediate conference, but the ways that these players can continue on to C-Log, right? I mean, we can now show the strength of our conference, right, on the national stage, and I think that's super, super exciting here. But I think we are hopping very, very quickly now into game number 2, into game number 2's draft. So we'll be able to see, how Villanova now is going to, how they need to now adapt to try and, stop Butler. But we will be now seeing the ban phase finishing up here. We do have the Akali taken away, as well as the Pike, Camille, and the Hecarim. So obviously Villanova wanting to target the jungler there, Voltage, who has been playing a lot of similar champions, right? And we now have 2 of his taken away. Obviously don't want to see Kaizek there on the Camille, very, very strong champion. But I think also very, very interestingly enough, now Butler bans 2 of their champions, right, there in the Akali, which Levi piloted so very, very well. And of course the Yuumi. But of course, they don't want to just give away such a very, very strong champion, to the blue side pick of Villanova. So we'll have to see what maybe they want to prioritize here.
Yeah, Akker's a well-known Akali player. He's very, very solid at the champion. And I'm sure Levi wants to try something new in this next game, so maybe just banning away to change up the matchup a little bit. And we could see Jhin taken on the side of Villanova. Really strong pick, and that's a LeBlanc locked in for Levi. That is the first time we have seen him pilot the champ from my recollection. That'll be really exciting. We saw a lot of it on the world stage, but not many players in the Big East taking advantage of the pick. So Levi trying to show his prowess on a ocean of mid lane picks. We'll see how it goes in this game and what kind of matchup he gets.
Yeah, we will have that Tristana locked in. Another very, very strong another strong champion of Carthago. But yeah, I think exactly like you said, I think definitely Levi's, I think is feeling very, very confident. After game number 1, wants to flex a little bit. I think definitely the pick there on the LeBlanc definitely is a testament to him just wanting to, show that he has more than enough champions to pick against any of his mid laners. He wants to prove himself as the best mid laner in the Big East. I think definitely he is on the path of doing so if he can have another good performance on this champion. But in response, Villanova will lock in the Lee Sin, obviously a very, very strong jungler. Definitely an S tier pick here. And they're having the Vex, and obviously Vex is one of the newer champions, and that will be locked in. So that will be a very, very fun matchup to see now in the mid lane.
Yeah, and we could actually see the lineup of Villanova lane swapped a couple of positions. Villanova taking over on the role of jungle, Abacart Fillet playing support with Franco, and Joey moving to the top lane. So maybe Villanova recognized game 1 did not go so well. There was a very large top gap. The Camille was unbelievable, took over the game. So they wanted to give maybe a more defensive player like Joey the top lane spot and play around this mid jungle duo. Something that is a little atypical, but lane swaps do happen. So I'm curious to see how that'll play out for them as we see Sejuani locked in for Voltade.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely the outcome is right, super important, because having the ability to lane swap like that, if it works out, means that there's a lot more flexibility with how you want to play against maybe a lot of the teams, because you can maybe mix some things up, right? Give your players a chance to either shine against maybe weaker opponents, or really be able to withstand the pressure. But if it doesn't work out, I think that's definitely a very, very big concern, because what works, if there's no consistency, in your team, there's really no consistency in the way that you want to, have the same 5 players in the same 5 roles. I think that definitely starts to erode at the team, just the team chemistry and the way the team really functions. But rounding out this draft here, at least, we do have the Sejuani locked in there for Voltade, just a very, very strong taking jungler, and pairing that with the Leona. So we've got 2 very, very great tanks, some decent engage, and that means I think we're going to have a very, very big money top laner. So I'm excited to see who Kaizek might eventually lock in.
You say decent engage. I say fantastic engage. You have LeBlanc Chain. You have Leona Ultimate, the Solar Flare. You have Leona, her E and her ability to flash E, flash Q. You have the Glacial Prison from Sejuani, the Boar Charge. Man, there are so many forms of engage on Butler's side. I would be very scared if I was Franco playing this Jhin. This E-mobile AD carry is going to be very difficult for him to be safe, but it looks like Villanova did recognize that fact, picked up the Braum to go along with the Jhin. Not normally a pairing you see, because Jhin's attack speed, debuff, and the passive from Braum are kind of non-bows, but it is a pick that will keep Jhin very, very safe in the lane phase and protected in the team fights. So, classic Butler pick in the top lane to round out the draft. The Graves, tell me about that, Søren.
Yeah, Graves obviously is, previously was a jungler, but just because of the buffs for him, obviously we saw a lot of him on the world stage. The passive grit, which he can get, which does really, really well into attack damage champions, just makes him a very, very solid scaling champion as well. Obviously, having 3 AD champions being against the Aatrox just means that I assume that Kaizek just really likes the matchup, really thinks that this works, and I think just like you mentioned, this is a very, very common pick for Butler compositions. So give him the comfort of the understanding of that. You've got all the front line there from the Sejuani, from the Leona. Get a lot more damage in there. I think we're definitely going to see a very, very aggressive game again from Butler. But at the same time, I definitely think that Villanova, I think they've got a pretty decent comp. I think they have a lot of strength in terms of champions, in terms of the way that they're trying to counteract maybe the game plan of Butler. But obviously we saw how dominant game number 1 was, so I'm definitely going to be very, very curious maybe what adaptations that Villanova does make between games.
Yeah, and I think the adaptation is definitely there. Villanova has completely changed their draft strategy, right? This is no longer a all-out 5v5 team fight comp, right? We see a lot more of this pick and pick and skirmish type gameplay happening, right? Jhin is extremely strong at finding and singling out a single target and taking them down, right? The Braum, let's say you land the concussive blows, follow up with the Jhin route, you give Akkers the perfect opportunity to ult in, and from there, Lee Sin and Joey can be zoning, can be joining, right? You burst and blow up one champion, and then you have the opportunity. Do we want to continue this fight, right? Are we opening up with the curtain call? Are we continuing to move forward with the Vex ultimate? Or are we backing off, moving towards the objective, moving towards the waves? Villanova has a very controlled and single target comp, while on the side of Butler, we see kind of the same thing. A lot of pick potential, right? LeBlanc is a great scout, able to find opportunities to move into the jungle, advance Butler's play space, right? Get vision and sort of play on the front lines as a very tricky assassin. While on the backside, we have Sejuani and Leona protecting Carthago, or alternatively, looking for split members of Villanova. So I think a lot of this game is going to come down to positioning, whether Villanova or Butler makes a mistake in, these river setups, I think the early game will be very indicative of that. But as we saw in the previous game, Butler took control very early.
Very, very early, and they never let go. And they tightened their grip, if anything, right? So I think not only on the fact of positioning, right? I think definitely one of the most important things in this game for Villanova is they need to just mentally reset, right? After a performance like that against you, they did not have any choice on what was going to happen for the rest of the game. They did not have any option on, am I allowed to go up in CS? Am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to do that? Because Butler decided everything basically after mid 5. So they were stuck in there for 20 full minutes, not having a lot of fun. So I think it's very, very important that, Villanova just tries to get a reset as much as possible, right? Try to reset your momentum, reset your morale, and really try to just start strong. Because if they don't really have that ability to really refocus and realign maybe what their game plan needs to be for this game, I mean, we could see a repeat performance just based on, maybe that frustration and maybe like kind of like, tilt bleeding through.
Yeah, and I think Butler coming in has all of the momentum in this game, having a very nice 2-0 against Georgetown. The second game looking cleaner than the first, and this last game we just saw being an absolute dominating victory. I think it's going to be hard for Butler to match that level of performance again in this game, but you have to think they all are feeling really, really good moving into this game too.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely it'll be very, very hopeful, at least for me, to see that, Villanova does resurge, right? I think, Villanova is they've got some great players, very, very long, that has been and doing very, very well. I think they won the conference for one of the first couple seasons. So, this team has a lot of experience, right? This team's got a lot of good players, and I think they've got a comp to where, if they really do get ahead, you have this Aatrox that could just be absolutely just, diving into the back line, doing so much damage. Vex can just jump onto, the AD carry and one-shot them. You have, Franco obviously just throwing out those guns, throwing out those bombs. So I think that also, even the jungler right here in Villanova, right, give that Lee Sin that freedom to go out and roam. So I think definitely their destiny can be in their hands, but they definitely need to make sure that they don't fumble it.
Yeah, I think the story of this Villanova roster is they were that championship sort of team, right? They won the very first season of the Big East, the Invitational. They followed that up with another championship win in the spring of 2019, and they have, after losing their mid laner and captain, the native 192, they really haven't had the success that they used to. And the last vestige of that older team, Pixel Drum, is not playing today, right? We have Villanova and Joey who have been in his place. So this is a roster of a lot of young players who are trying to build up their name for potentially seasons ahead, as they are currently already eliminated from the playoffs. Just trying to play spoiler in this last game and really show that come the spring, with some more practice and potentially a more permanent set of positions for all their players, that they can be a contender. But we can see level 1, Mojo Romo already looking for early fighting in the bot lane. Abacart Filler taking a lot of damage on the Braum, but Romo taking equally heavy trades on the Leona.
Yeah, both now half HP, as the potions will be coming through. And actually, we do have the wave a little bit in favor there of Villanova, having the one XP advantage there from killing that one creep first. So we'll have to see maybe how that fight for level 2 does pan out. But at least, showing them just be aggressive, showing them, them willing to fight definitely means good signs. It means I think they definitely, are on the path of them getting that great mental reset in, as well as the ability to hopefully, get themselves back into the series.
Yeah, and if we take a look at the junglers, both of them are pathing towards the top side, so there could be early action up there. Actually, I am incorrect. Voltate is pathing towards the bot side as Villanova is pathing towards the top side. So again, Butler is playing towards their bot lane. They like to do this. They consistently do this. While Villanova is taking the opposite approach and playing towards Joey in the top lane, trying to get this Aatrox ahead to maybe be that sustain powerful bruiser in team fights.
Yeah. And we got another little skirmish down there. We will have the rocket jump out as top lane, though, Kai'Sa is getting ganked.
Yeah, Villanova is here. Flash already burned by Kai'Sa, getting good damage onto Villanova, causing him to back away, but Joey has the advantage in the 1v1. 400 HP. Villanova on his way in, but Kai'Sa looking really good in this 1v2. Both members of Villanova at 100 HP. Villanova himself fighting against the minions, trying to get away, and that would be a disengage from Kai'Sa because he takes the 1v2 and nearly wins it against the top jungle of Joey and Villanova.
Yeah, and not only that, he started Cull, right? He does not have Dorn's Blade or even Dorn's Shield. Yeah, just
over the wall, just finds him and takes him down. Levi hunting for Villanova. Kai'Sa teleporting back in and taking down Joey. That is gotta be a pain. Oh, Levi looking for Villanova. 1 HP. Gets the kill. Ockers is on the retreat as well. Will Levi find him? No, he will not. But another great start from Butler in all 3 lanes.
Yeah, I mean, that is the killer instinct that you need to see from teams like this. And there we go. Mojiromo again.
He's doing it again, and he finds it. Oh my goodness, he is on fire this game. Butler will not say no. They go in, they find the kills, and they are running over Villanova once again.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got 4 kills, 2K, 2.5K gold lead. And I mean, imagine what would happen if Kai'Sa started Dorn's Blade, right? Both of those players had probably enough HP to where if he had a little bit more damage, just naturally in his kit, he probably would have gotten a 2v1. And that is insane considering the double buffs that Villanova did have. That just speaks to the prowess of just the individual talent of Kai'Sa. Now up more than 15 CS. You know, Joey have to not only burn Flash, he got killed. Bot lane 2v2 killed both of them. I mean, this is just, you know, picking up right where they left off for Butler.
Hey man, the Butler boys are looking to take revenge on Villanova for the years past, and I am all for it. Butler is absolutely rocking this game, as we can see Villanova actually getting the best of the dragon, right? They slay the first one under the noses of Butler. So a small victory for the side of Villanova.
Yeah, and at the very least, they do deny the perfect game there. No, not taking them an objective for this series. Definitely could have panned out that way. But First Dragon is definitely good. That feels good, right? That they are still trying to make proactive decisions after, you know, being this far behind. And Levi getting a little bit of a chunk there, but we'll take a, I believe he might have taken a tower shot. But Kai'Sa will take one as well, pushing Joey back under his own tower, just trying to, you know, push these waves in and just deny as much CS as possible.
And oh my goodness, Kai'Sa just finds the solo kill in the top lane, finding a really nice combo onto Joey, and has the wave crashing in. He's going to be able to get plates, and that is going to be a huge gold influx for the Graves in the top lane, as he is 2-0 now.
Yeah, and that level 6 level up was just so powerful now, but we might have a dive in the bot lane, but the wave might just bail Villanova out. They will have to Butler disengage because, you know, they were just a little bit, I think, too late on that convergence. So definitely Villanova is going to, you know, breathe a sigh of relief after that.
Yeah, and it looks like Villanova here running away. Mojiromo does not connect with the E, and Levi going over the wall, finding the stun, and Villanova is really trying to get this red buff, but he has nowhere to go, taken down by Voltade, and another kill over the side of Villanova, but Voltade hops over the wall into 3 members. Joey is here, finds a double knockup. Voltade has the Aftershock proc, but he is certainly going to go down, and that is the first kill over to Villanova. Franco running for his life under the tier 2. Ockers finding 3 with the snare and the fear. Ultimate does not connect onto Carthago as he flashes away, but really, really nice play to get Villanova something in this game by Ockers.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a capitalization of Butler's overaggression. You know, I think they were feeling so confident there that they could just easily jump over the wall. You know, 1v3, Voltade maybe didn't really know that Joey was bot lane. So he will be shut down alongside Levi there. But top lane, at the very least, you know, we have had Graves solo pushing. Right, he took 2 plates for himself. Carthago goes back in, not really able to kill Franco, but ultimate is popped. I think Carthago should be able to dodge all of these. Does miss the last two, so Carthago should be just fine. Should have the ultimate. Ooh, actually,
he's
great
rooted
stun.
up, exhausted, but Romo is here to back him up. Flash forward by Avocard, trying to find the kill onto Carthago. Carthago, 1 HP. Bomb gets the kill onto Braum, but he is able to shut down Carthago with the big manly muscles of the Frozen Man. Tristana didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, and he, trading your life for that is definitely very, very worth it. He gets a shutdown gold. Mojo Romo will be holding the wave here for Carthago to get back, but now top lane, Kaizek and Volte have started up the Rift Herald. We do have the jungle and top from Villanova waiting around, but I think they know that they are a little bit too low HP, or at least too low XP here, as Kaizek will just get kicked away, and he will help secure that Rift Herald with Volte.
Look at this item difference in the jungle against top lane. I was looking at that 1v1, and I saw that the kick did about 100 damage to Kaizek. Kaizek has steel caps and a noon quiver, while Villanova has 2 long swords and a ruby crystal. He doesn't even have a transformed smite yet. Like, this is just brutal from the side of Butler, and they are looking to take the first tower, and Joey has nowhere to go as 3 are in the top lane, making sure his life is miserable. He loses his life, he loses his tower, and it is all L's for Villanova.
Yeah, and like we said first game, this is a different Butler team. I mean, that kind of coordination and teamwork and just communication to make these things happen, right, are just second to none. I mean, this is probably some of the cleanest games we've seen in the Big East, with the way that these teams play around not only each other, but around their advantages right now, as Akers will actually be able to get the fear, but gets rooted. Ultimate coming through.
Nice ultimate from Voltade. Levi's flashing over the wall to follow. Akers takes him down, and that is another kill heading over to Levi on the LeBlanc.
And that Darksteel just has 2 stacks in it, but it will definitely be stacking up. I think Levi will be looking to maybe get even the Magi's, down the road. But now, again, 10 minutes, 5k gold. We have 7 kills now in the favor of them. A little bit more deaths on their behalf, just based on, a lot of overaggression here, maybe a little bit too early. But, Butler still is very, very much in the driver's seat, very, very much trying to push this lead, to the similar bounds that it reached game number 1.
Yeah, and one of the big drawbacks on the side of Villanova from that last play is Akers was the one who was, ahead on that team, really making the best out of that bot play, getting 2 kills. And now Akers coming in here without ultimate or flash. Doesn't look like it's going to be it doesn't look like Villanova will have the opportunity to contest this dragon. So my eyes are on Akers if there is going to be a play that gets Villanova back into this game.
Yeah, definitely with the kit of the champion that Vex is, I think definitely he has the great potential to, because, he is the really, outside of maybe Jhin, they're really the only 2 players now who have a chance to really, have some control and have a say in how this, how the outcome of this game will be. Now, Jhin, unfortunately, is just, going to get beat up here by Tristana all the time, but Akers, is definitely doing pretty well. He's only down about 1 CS. Trying to do his best here, and, a little bit of a XP disadvantage, but, just to see them try to find things, I think definitely is, what Villanova should be looking to do.
Absolutely. But we can see here, Levi looking to roam towards the bot side, just getting some vision in Villanova's jungle. And in the top lane, look at this CS differential. 70 CS lead for Kaizek at 12 minutes. He is at 10 CS a minute, and he is making sure Joey is not playing League of Legends. He's about to get the 2nd tower as well. This Graves is ridiculously huge, and he's in a 1v2 situation. Will he be able to pull it out again? Joey flashing away. Kaizek does not want to take the 1v2. Does not connect over the wall with the ultimate, but Akers finding the play, takes him down. Tower traded for his life, and Akers getting a nice shutdown, pulling him ahead as the key carry for Villanova.
Yeah, definitely a little bit, again, just over-aggression for Butler, right? That definitely the only way that they're going to lose this game is if they just get too over-aggressive. Because, I mean, look at how much damage are coming through, and this is now a big fight breaking out.
4v3 on favoring Villanova. Ultimate coming out, but Abacar Philart is in the middle of the enemy team. Villanova finding Voltade. Voltade low HP, but Mojo Romo connecting. Joey has something to say about it moving forward, but the teleport will zone them away, and that is Butler coming out ahead 2-0 on the jungle play.
Yeah, and if you're Joey, that really, really feels bad because you flash forward to get that knock-up, but the very, very great stun. Now 1v1, I think. Ooh, actually just barely lives from Franco, but Kaizek is roaming down with the help of Voltade. Franco's days are numbered.
He's living! Oh my goodness, calculated. Mojo Romo flashes the wall, drops the ignite, and gets out with just the skin of his teeth. Now they're trying to dive Abacar again. It looks like Kaizek is leading the charge, but a teleport coming in onto the tower. Will it channel? Yes, it will, and Kaizek once again caught in the enemy backline, nowhere to go. He is almost certainly going to be taken down. Who will the kill go over to? That will be to Joey, his top lane opponent.
Yeah, and I was a little funny there, you know, Butler just leaving Kaizek there to die, all just disengaging, you know, just understanding that that's just the situation. And, you know, they got a little bit too deep, a little bit too long. But, you know, getting a little bit more gold back into their pockets, right, definitely is better than nothing. So if we do a comparison check, right, there's only a 7k goal lead, whereas game number 1 was 13k at the same time. So it seems like this role swap from Villanova has been working out better than, you know, the composition that it was game number 1. But, you know, they are still relatively behind, so definitely have to make sure that they do try to keep trying to look for advantages for themselves, try to maybe get some sneaky things, you know, maybe look for another dragon to at least stop the win con there of Butler, because obviously Ocean Dragon, Ocean Soul, is very, very powerful, and just, you know, having that maybe even for themselves as a win con definitely gives them, you know, a way back into this game.
Absolutely, and we can see Butler lining up everybody's standard matchup still. You know, Graves in the top lane, Carthago in the bot lane on the Tristana. I believe Butler is going to be trying to go for some outer towers now, as both top lane towers are taken down. They are taking the Rift Herald. You have to think that is going to be dropped mid to break that tower. This bot tower is about to fall on its own. And after that, the map will be wide open for Butler to continue to push into the jungle and choke out Villanova.
Yeah, and we have a lot of Villanova players now just hovering around here, trying to get that dragon for themselves. Carthago is actually just land. Connects, but that is a great rocket charge away. Rift Herald is popped though in the mid lane. I'm not sure if this tower will fall. I think it might just have a sliver of HP left, as now with the help from Mojo Romo and Voltade, they might be able to pick off this tower, but instead they're just going to leave it and focus on this dragon, as Kaizek is just pushing this top lane.
You know, he is PvE gamer right now, looking for towers, looking for minions. He is in the 1v2, and I do not believe he wins this one. But, oh my goodness, Joey down 200 HP, and very, very, very close there by Kaizek. He does not end up winning it, but like I said, he's playing PvE. He does not care about that death. He has 75 more CS than Joey. His team's getting objectives on the other side of the map, and he has almost taken the inhibitor tower down solo at 16 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, just look at his items, right? I mean, he has the most CS in the game. 2 completed items there in the Mythic, as well as his first Legendary. Building, you know, in the way of starting with the tier. And, I mean, there is just no one that is anywhere close to that kind of inventory. So, you know, Kaizek is drawing so much pressure, which allowed Butler to pick up that third dragon, their second. And, you know, Butler is just definitely keeping up where they have left off, making sure that they're always looking for every kind of advantage across the map. Every objective, you know, they're going to be ready and willing to fight for. And, you know, this goal is getting very, very close to getting to 10k.
Yes, it is. And, you know, Butler in the driver's seat, like they have been this whole series. But we have to look at the side of Villanova too, right? What do they have that can bring them in this game, right? They don't have any towers. They don't have any pressure. but they do have a level 11 Ockers and a Dragon spawning in 2 minutes. If I were Villanova right now, I think I would play very defensively and just try to make Butler throw around Baron, right? They'll have debuffs from the objective, and maybe Ockers can get resets in. Otherwise, there is just no way that they can do anything. Like, look at this. Kaisik and Mojo Romo in the top lane are looking for Joey. He is almost certainly going to fall, and this will lead to towers being taken. But oh my goodness, that Gore Drinker is just gross. He does manage to survive that play.
Ooh, and a missed ultimate there means a flash away from Franco keeps him alive, but we saw a very, very great prediction there from the E from Mojo Romo, but fight going through.
Yeah, from the side of Butler, potentially. They are fighting under the tier 2, but the tower is not able to help him here. Ockers does find Carthago, connects with the ultimate, and this is the fight they were looking for. Another ultimate in, Voltage down to 200 HP. If he gets the kill, he'll get another reset. Shutdown coming in, he has the ultimate back up, and that is going to be 3 Villanova, takes down Kaisik, and that is 3 kills over to the side of Villanova, 2 shutdowns to Ockers, and he makes it happen. He finds the play and punishes the over-aggression for Butler.
And you said yourself, right? They have Ockers, level 11, who gets 2 more kills to his name. Right, he has 7 now stacks on his Dark Seal. He has 5 and 1. Right, this is their win con. Brother Levi will have to run away. Jin might be looking for the W here. Jump away 1, should be able to get out just fine. But you know, it is still a 7K gold lead, so they are, you know, Butler is still well and truly ahead of Villanova. But definitely, if there is a bad fight that Ockers can take care of and really take advantage of, this could be a game-changing fight if it does work out.
Yeah, and I think that fight would have to happen around Baron. That was a good precursor if you're a Villanova fan, as we've seen the power of Ockers. He does not have this flash for the next play, but the additional gold in his pocket will certainly be able to help, as Levi is finding great damage onto Joey in the top lane. Abacart, Philart looking in the jungle for Mojo Romo as they're taking away the chickens. He does not want to let them go, and they're fighting over vision now as Butler is controlling the red side of the jungle completely.
Yeah, Butler Levi did take a lot of damage, so we will have to be careful. But it looks like they're just going to take away that red buff and then disengage, maybe clear a little bit of vision. But now, Villanova looking for a fight.
Yeah, they're going forward. Levi dashing away, but Mojo Romo in the middle of the enemy team. He is taken down, teleporting the backside. Kaisik has great positioning onto the side of Villanova. He is in the backline. Levi takes down 1. Kaisik moving forward, gets the ultimate, takes down a second, and the 3 carries are looking to go away, but that's Kaisik falling, and that is Franco cleaning up the kill. Ockers getting the fear, and Franco able to clean it up.
Yeah, but very, very importantly, we saw Butler Levi right at the end of that play does take 1 more out. So what could have been, you know, what could have been even more for Villanova, Levi with very low HP plays perfectly to the limits of his champion, takes off 1 more, which means that, you know, now that they have those extra players for the Dragon here spawning in 30 seconds, you know, Levi now has 10 stacks on his Dark Seal. And actually, Butler is starting off this Baron, but they don't know that they're on vision. TP coming through.
Oh, this could be bad for the side of Butler. Joey teleporting in the middle of the enemy team, but that is 4 members. Ockers has a great opportunity, but Mojo Romo does not get low enough for the ultimate reconnection, and maybe Joey went in too early as the rest of Villanova were not there to follow up on his play. It was almost really dangerous for the side of Butler.
Dangerous now, as that will just be, I think, a free solo kill, or just a free pick. As
actually going a little deep. He is almost certainly going to go down to Villanova as he jumped right in the enemy team in that brush. A little Malphite ult there.
Yeah, and what was, I think, in Butler's mind a free kill now is a gifted one right back as Voltage trying to take down this dragon before Villanova can get there, but jumps into the pit. And
it's stolen, and look at that damage from Ockers. He's almost certainly Levi down to 100 HP. Will he be able to finish the kill? He gets away with the dash. Joey trying to find Kaisik, but Kaisik doing great damage out of Joey, and that's just a solo kill. PvE monster in the top lane. Flame Horizon achieved. This Graves does not care about Joey. This Graves just wants towers.
Yeah, and now he wants the inhib, right? We do have the backs coming through. But with this wave, with the damage that Kaisik might have, he might be able to finish
he's going in 1v3. He does not care. Actually, flashes away, but he is certainly going to fall. He has nowhere to run to. He is just trying to get out as Abercard Filler taken really low. Big Shield comes in, but that is a cleanup for Villanova. Another shutdown going over to Akers. 6-1-3 on this Vex. And if you're Butler, you have to be weary of this Vex now. Every time you go for a Baron, you have to be worried about these resets coming in with that magic damage debuff. You know, your game options are a little bit more limited. Dragons are 2-2. And we can see here, Akers chunking Mojo Romo down to half health with one burst combo. Ultimate not even committed.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, Butler has this 1 point of pressure always. There's always someone in the side lane pushing that out. There's now Voltage. We're getting a little bit of knockup.
Oh, Fear comes in from Akers. Ultimate connects, and Voltage just way too far ahead. Far from his team, looking for the chickens on his own this late into the game with no backup. And oh my goodness, Akers finding Carthago as well. He is absolutely tearing it up on this Vex. That is the danger if you are at the side of Butler, letting this Vex get so far ahead. You know, Voltage gets caught out, Carthago gets caught out, and that is going to be a Baron going over to Villanova, unless Butler has something to say about it.
Yeah, and that Baron is actually a little bit slow. Hold up, you know, we're only at half HP, and they've been in for a decent amount of time. We now have
Mojo Romo going in, looking for Akers, and Akers is taken down. Now it's a 4v3, and the main carry for Villanova is going down. Kaisik in the middle of the pit, he gets the shield. Ultimate coming in from the backside of Franco. Shot 2 connects, shot 3 connects, but it is not enough as this Baron is tearing through the side of Villanova, and Levi cleaning up quadra kill. He's looking for the Penta. Stun connects Mojo Romo, and Penta kill to Levi, his second of the season. Outstanding team fight on the LeBlanc, and he shows why he is one of the best mid laners in the league, and he is not afraid of anybody.
And now what once was thought to be for Villanova goes right back to Butler. You know, they thought that they had a chance. They thought they were back into the game. Kirk was carrying the team on his back, but Butler too strong, Levi too good, and this is another game that is almost all but done. That gold league now finally surpasses 10K. We were at just about the 11K mark. Turn is taken. All of these champions are too far ahead. We've got, I mean, this LeBlanc is so strong, and Carthago might be picked up here. Kaisik also might be picked out shortly.
Akers looking for the kill, but Kaisik is so strong in the 1v3. He is still getting huge damage out. He is trying to heal his way out of the fight, and he is still living. He is healing so much off of each auto attack. There is no healing cut to be heard of, but Franco cleans it up with the Gale Force, and there is going to be temporary pressure on the side of Villanova. But Butler gets away with Baron on most members. Villanova in the middle of the enemy team does not have the Q. He is stunned up. Mojo Romo connects with the Solar Flare. Carthago cleaning it up. Teleport coming in from Akers, and he is going to be in the middle of the enemy team. Nowhere to go. Fear lands on 2. Butler Levi coming in, continuing to do massive damage. Gets double kill. Ultimate connects from Voltage onto Franco. Really nice bypassing Akers, stunning up the Jhin, and that is going to be a triple for Levi. Continuing to go forward, looking for Akers. He is going to have to be content with the triple kill. And that is a team fight dub for Butler.
Yeah, and unfortunately, no another Penta opportunity for Levi. He definitely would have gone for it if it was there, but I mean, they're just too far ahead at this point.
Oh, Akers looking for a little bit of revenge. Tons of damage, but he does not have cooldowns coming out of the stasis, and he is certainly going to fall to Carthago as Butler takes the inhib, walks away, and gets out of there. As we can see Kaisik playing PvE once again, taking those towers. Look at this. He does not care about Joey. He cares about this wave. He just wants to distract Villanova. And
very, very nice, smart play there by Butler to wait for his teammate to make sure that they don't give away a free kill. Kaisik, though, is just so strong with so much healing. It doesn't even matter. He's in 1v3, but he's a full HP forever.
He will not fall. He does not care about how many members of the enemy team are there. He is healing up through the exhaust. He's, you know, having a good time on this Graves. Doesn't matter if he's forward 7. This man is up 130 CS. He is up multiple levels over Joey. He does whatever he wants. He walks where he wants. He clears what he wants, and he's taking towers.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this game number 1 before even game number 1. I was getting into
He's
it.
still going for
Right?
inhib.
Kaizek has opened up really just the amount of not only pressure that Butler can give, but just so many more. He just really makes his comp flourish and his team flourish. I mean, he is a player that is just, yeah. He's insane. We're into the last fight probably.
And Levi finds the pick off with the assist from Mojo Romo. Nice solar flare coming through, allowing Levi to just burst Franco out. And this is almost certainly going to be an end as Villanova are on their final stand. Levi finding Villanova. Carthago cleaning it up. Stasis taken. Ockers fighting one on the backside. Kaisik finally falls again. But Villanova are falling in this fight. Only 2 remain, as Ockers and Abukart are trying to defend against the 4 members of Butler, and they will turn to focus the last tower of the game. All 3 inhibs down, all the towers down, and Butler will take the victory as Villanova finally falls. Ockers is in the base. No, he's not. He's killing all of them.
The minions win the game. We have a Winions finally here. Butler, I think, was just trying to go for, have the KDAs, kill all the members, and they almost got too far ahead of themselves, but fortunately for them, took down, I think it was all 3 inhibs almost, and, so many minions, didn't matter how much fun they were having. That means that they get a very, very easy 2-0 sweep. I mean, absolutely all of them just have a dominant performance in all of their different lanes. I mean, Kaizek, I think, has proven himself now as this incredible top laner who just really enables the rest of his team to do whatever they want. And I think now Butler is very much so a team to be truly feared heading into the postseason very, very soon.
Yeah, and they are currently tied up with DePaul. Both teams sitting at 5-2. So the victor of their next match will decide the 2nd place seed for the regular season and the 2nd seed going into playoffs. So officially locked into that playoffs is Butler now. We have St. John's, DePaul, and Butler, with UConn, Seton Hall, and Marquette all fighting for that last spot. And a fantastic performance from all their members, but we have to shout out the attempts from Villanova and the young squad that put up a much better fight in that 2nd game than the first one.
Absolutely. And I mean, Ockers, such a good player, right? I mean, there's so many different times where Ockers went in, got all of these kills. I mean, he was 10-3, right, closing out that game. And even saying that, right, we know how strong the bot lane 2v2 of Butler is. Franco looked pretty good, right? I think, both these players, their team was just dying around them. And, they were trying to do their very, very best. Franco had, I think, a very, very respectable KDA. He had some decent CS, but it was just too much of a force that Butler brought to this game. So I think there's definitely so great potential, from Villanova, from this squad, that I think they're definitely going to be a very, very strong team, heading into the, maybe even next season here in the spring, but 100%, next year when, this team can really develop, but then maybe bring in some other pieces, to really finalize this roster. But I think, as much as, this is such a great Butler performance, I think we definitely have to really respect and commend really the future potential that this roster does have for Villanova.
Yeah, and I think one key thing for this Villanova roster is finding where their players are going to play. I've seen Villanova play 3 different roles this season. He's a great player on his own, but you have to keep him somewhere consistent, right? We've seen, Franco be a solid carry, and we've seen Ockers, the incredible mid laner he is. You have your core pieces. Now figure out the rest of the roster, stick to it next season. Is Pixel Drum playing, right? We've seen him play in about half of these matches, and the ones he's in, he looks good, and the team looks good. The ones he's not, sometimes they look good, sometimes not, but they have to swap around all their players when he's not there. It causes trouble for this lineup, and, I think that's really the big difference for this team, right? Are they going to be contenders or not?
Yeah, and I think that is something we'll have to see in the future, right? But I think from myself, I would love to see them get to that point and really be able to finalize that, just bring in, or at least bring back in Pixel Drum, really try to finalize, that top and that support, and just hopefully, be a very, very big name like they already are in a lot of different sports here in the Big East. But we will head to a very, very quick break because we will be back with an interview from the winning squad of Butler. So stick around for that.
Don't want to miss it. Hello and welcome back to the Big East League of Legends action. We are joined by Voltade, the jungler for Butler University. And
Hello.
how you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. It was a good 4-0 day.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely was a very, very good day, right? You guys had a very, very close game, game number 1 against Georgetown. But, after that point, it was just absolutely all Butler all the time. And that is just it was also due to all 5 members of that squad. But since we have you, right, I think definitely for the viewers out there, I think it's definitely important to know, your development as a player throughout the season, because you didn't start off as a jungler. You were originally a support player for Butler. You filled in here, in the previous season, but you moved to jungle, just recently for the new composition of this current season. So talk to me a little bit about your development as a player and how you role swapped and how you fit into this team composition right now.
Well, originally, Mr. Luke Renchik over here, I originally played AD on my freshman year, a long time, 8 semesters ago, and then I went into the fill role support for the spring season. And then after that, I sort of just took some time off and then learned how to play jungle properly. And then this year, the team asked me to come play jungle for them. So here we are, 8 semesters later, support to Jungle Canyon.
Playing in the very first ESL match for Butler University against Villanova, and getting, I believe, your first interview with me, playing against Villanova all these years later.
Oh,
it's awesome to see your
flies.
development. Yeah, it really does. And you were a driving force in the victories today. And what has it taken for you to integrate into this Butler team? Right, so much has changed over the years. What is this team environment like, and what is your role inside of it?
It's just great. We have really great chemistry. We play a lot during the week. We do scrims regularly. Occasionally we'll do like team events just at someone's house. For me, in this team, it's nice now that we have a really competent top laner that allows us to play through top lane instead of bot lane constantly. That's helped a lot because we can get 3-man dives top now instead of having to be pushing leads bot lane.
Yeah, and even expanding upon that, right? Kaizek is a new name to this Butler roster, just the same as you are this year. So, we've seen a few different top laners coming out from Butler, but none to the skill and really the just the strength really of what Kaizek has shown, not only on the variety of champions that they've shown that we haven't seen before, out of the Camille, but I mean, even that last game, right? He was solo. He was just PvE almost.
He was PvE.
He was
Power Destroyer.
He was getting so much pressure. So talk to me about his now addition to the roster and what really that maybe can bring to the team. As you're looking into the postseason here shortly.
Well, for playoffs, definitely just having someone that is very mechanically skilled in top lane, it will definitely allow us to play more through our top lane. We have an extremely good bot lane. I would argue our bot lane is one of the definitely top 3 bot laners in the Big East. So we can let our bot lane 2v2, and then we can, with our good old Levi in mid lane, we can definitely force top lane dives, look to do 2v2 or 3v3 in the river for Scuttle Crabs. Not let me blabber for Crabs will definitely be a nice addition with our top laner.
So speaking towards those matches coming up, you have a jungle matchup against Reaper, one of the long-standing powerhouses of the league. What do you think about him, and how do you feel your matchup against DePaul is going to go next weekend, potentially in playoffs?
To be completely honest, the skill gap between D4 and Masters is not that. It's not huge. There's a major.
That's cap.
Oh no, you're capping. There is so much losers queue and solo queue from D4 to D2 that people can just lose minus 300 LP in one day. I'm not calling out our support player that demoted from GM to Plat 1, but honestly, starting playing the league for almost 9 years now, and then having the competitive experience from freshman year to now, rank doesn't really matter. And just like having the skill knowledge for all these seasons just helped me really evolve as a player. So I expect it to be a good match on versus DePaul, especially with King Amazing making his return as well.
Absolutely. And I think a good match it will be, and that's what all we are all looking for. I think it's definitely going to be a little bit of a playoffs preview in some regard for what we might see in some different capacities. But as we are looking to the future weeks and as we are looking to the playoffs, is there anything that you want to say to maybe some of the fans, maybe a little bit of banter heading into your match against DePaul next week?
We will not miss Smite on Ocean Drag when we are griefing away games, potentially, like we might have just tried to do last game. Might have done for fun. We had a PvE in top lane, turret destroyer. Might have missed a Smite, but we'll reel it in next week. I expect to see a 2-0.
Oh, even more dominant than today is what you're saying.
Oh, I think we might have had the fastest win in the Big East, 18 minutes today. Put that on the record.
Very true. We were talking. We think, that is one of the largest stomps we have seen in a long time. So great performance today, Voltaid, Tommy, my man. So glad to talk to you again. It's been a blast watching this team. You guys look absolutely amazing heading into playoffs, right? With this new finalized roster. Best of luck to you. It's going to be exciting to watch you guys play in a couple weeks here against DePaul. And from Sir Aaron and I, that has been it. We thank you all. Thank the fans for tuning in and watching the Big East broadcast. It's always our pleasure.
Yeah, and of course, it is always very, very fun at the end of the day, right? We've got some awesome teams, some awesome individuals, and I think we've definitely got a lot of great things to look forward to for the playoffs here very, very shortly. So the last week of the regular season does begin after Thanksgiving, so we've got a little bit of a break in the interim. So please enjoy yourselves, enjoy your Thanksgiving, and we will see you next time.